All right, and we are back here on the GSMC Sports Podcast. And for the second part of the show, we're going to talk about Luka Dončić, his big night over the weekend against the Nuggets, as well as talking about the Warriors and their continued success with Jimmy Butler. So, Luka has not been great so far with the Lakers, and it's a combination of a few different things. New team, hadn't played in a long time because he was getting over an injury, but now he got things rolling against a very good team in the Nuggets, a team that, the Lakers have had a problem with in the playoffs, the last few years, or the last couple of years. They've knocked them out of the playoffs. And, Luka showed up. 32 points, 10 of 22 shooting, 10 rebounds, 7 assists. After the game, he said, finally felt like myself a little bit, so that's why I was smiling the whole game. And, once he gets things going, look out for this Lakers team. And you had, I think, 4 of the 5 players in their starting lineup all score in double digits, or I think all 5, actually, or all 5 of them. Let me just do a quick fact check, because the game was on Saturday, and I was at my cousin's wedding, so I didn't get a chance to watch it. But yeah, 4 out of the 5 players. So you had Rui Hachimura, he had 21 points. LeBron James had 25. Austin Reeves had 23, and Luka had 32. So that's good, getting production out of majority of your starters. I mean, obviously LeBron, there's no surprise there. Austin Reeves is a good player for them too, but that's encouraging. And again, especially against a team that you could be facing in the playoffs. And I think right now, the way things are set up in the Western Conference, would they be playing each other in the first round? Oh no, because the Nuggets are the 3. Lakers right now actually are the 4. They have kind of flip flopped with the Rockets. I mean, they're both tied at 11.5 games out of first in the Western Conference, but right now the Lakers are ahead, so they would have home field advantage in that first round matchup. And then, the way the playoffs are set up right now, if they were to win in the first round against the Rockets, then they'd be playing. If the Thunder move on, they'd be playing the Thunder. So that would be an interesting second round matchup if we potentially get that. But back to Luka, though, he had 16 of his 32 points in the first quarter, and played well. He played well, and still trying to get on the same page with LeBron James. That's still going to be a work in progress, of course, but he's going to get himself back into the swing of things. And in the previous games that he played with the Lakers, he averaged 14.7 points per game, 6.7 rebounds, 5.3 assists, and 4 turnovers per game, which is not, Luka-ish, but he's going to get it going. LeBron had this to say, and this is via the Associated Press. It's his 3rd game since Christmas, and it's his 3rd game with us. He still doesn't know all the plays. He doesn't know all the defensive coverages, all the signals and things that we've built up since September. Obviously, we're trying to fast-track it on the fly. He's coming back from his injury. He's getting back into form, so we're working through it together. And, yeah, he's going to have big games for this team. It's not going to just be this one. And I really cannot wait for the playoffs to see, how this team does. Because you have a top 5 player now to go along with LeBron James. After they made that trade with Dallas. Still don't know. Still can't believe that trade was made, but here we are. And the crazy thing is, their title odds went from 4,000 before the trade to now 1,400. It's a big jump. That's a big jump. And if the Lakers play like this, where you got, contributions from everybody in your starting lineup, and it's not like they did it against a bad team. They did it against the Nuggets, team that won the championship a couple years ago, against the Joker. So that's not a joke. And that was a bad joke that I just made. But, right now, Lakers are 8-2 in their last 10 games. They're playing good basketball right now. And right now you're 2 games behind the Grizzlies and the Nuggets. There's still time to, catch up to those teams and maybe surpass them, and then all of a sudden you're the 2 seed. Doesn't look like anybody's going to catch up to the Thunder. Right now they're 46-10. But, if you're the Lakers, hey, you're in striking distance of the other 2 teams. And if you could pass them, that home field advantage. You want that. So that's from the Lakers side of things. Now we go to the Warriors side of things. So they actually have continued to play well with Jimmy Butler. And like I, was jokingly saying, Draymond Green, what he said, so far, so good. I think they're now 5-1 with Jimmy Butler since they acquired him, and he's been playing well. Yesterday they beat the Mavericks, Luka's old team, 126-102, and they had all 5 starters score in the double digits. Draymond Green had 13, Jimmy Butler had 18, Moses Moody had 14, Steph Curry 30 points on the day. Went 12 for 20 and went 3 for 8 from 3. But yeah, Jimmy Butler in his games with the Warriors, he has scored in double digits in all of the games. And he played 28 minutes last night, so that was actually the least amount of minutes he played in a game. He had 18 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 turnover, 1 steal. And now the Warriors are 30-27, and they're currently the 9th seed. And they played the Kings over the weekend, and they beat them. That was on Friday. They beat them 132-108. And they'll be playing the Hornets tomorrow, and then the Mavericks after that. I said the Mavericks, the Magic. So, yeah, I mean, right now they are a half game behind the Mavericks and the Timberwolves. And then they're a game and a half back of the Clippers for the 6th seed. So, if they keep playing like this, they could find themselves out of the play-in and, in the top 6, and then you don't have to worry about it. So, yeah, you got to like how they're playing. And they're 6-4 in their last 10 games. They've won 3 straight. And the only game they lost was that close game to the Mavericks. So, that's the thing. There was some question marks with Jimmy Butler, bringing him in, and I agree. And I was also on the same page with people saying, how is it going to work with Draymond? Look, right now, things are working out. They gave Jimmy Butler the extension, and it seems like this team is heading in the right direction. And especially, you need that now for the stretch run here. Playoffs are coming up. We got 1 full month left, and then, we're off and running. So, and this could be their last chance. That's what people are talking about. This could be their last chance. So, we'll see what happens. I mean, I don't know if they have the team to do it this year. I think, the way they're playing right now, you have a chance to make a little bit of a run in the postseason because you have that experience. And now you got, if you get Jimmy Butler, you have Jimmy Butler, but if you have him, going into the playoffs and he somehow turns back the clock and is playoff Jimmy to go along with Steph Curry, that's going to be a problem for some teams in the playoffs. So I'm looking forward to that. Warriors are playing well. Now Luka's starting to get his confidence back. So, maybe we're on a collision course for maybe another LeBron James Steph Curry matchup in the postseason. Imagine we see that to go to the NBA Finals. That would be quite something. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. But yeah, you gotta like what you're seeing out of these 2 teams right now. I could definitely see the Warriors making a run here and getting themselves out of the play-in, and they don't have to worry about it. But like I said, it's still a small sample size, but you gotta like what you've seen so far out of them. And they're a team that they've done their share of winning, so you can't count them out. Can't count them out. It's a completely different team. you know. But they still got the coach. You know, they still got that championship pedigree with Curry and Draymond there. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But you got to be encouraged. You got to be encouraged by what you've seen so far. So before we go to break, just want to remind you guys once again to tip or donate and get your comments recognized. Make sure to hit that super chat button in the chat if you want to see me acknowledge any thought or comment you may have throughout the live broadcast. It makes the show more lively, more entertaining between myself, the host, and you guys, the viewers. We appreciate you guys' viewership each and every day, so any contribution you can make to the show means the world to us as we put out content for you guys each and every day. And also, the other way to help out the show is by going to the link at the bottom of the show segment on the ticker, GSMCPodcast.net. That is GSMCPodcast.net. So, when we come back from our next break, we will talk about the Knicks as they continue to struggle against the good teams. Losing to both the Cavs and the Celtics over the weekend. And we'll kind of just get into the conversation of, you know, I'm not going to call them frauds, but, you know, are they going to be able to overcome this and, you know, make a deep playoff run and maybe get to the NBA Finals? We're going to talk about all that when we come back from our next break. So, with that being said, stick around, and we'll be right back here on the GSMC Sports Podcast.